welcome to my channel and the first edition where I'm taking a look at the new autumn collections. Now for this edition, I've also done my first ever Topshop haul. Previously in the past, I would say Topshop Oxford Circus was probably my favourite shop ever. I would be in there weekly, seeing what's new in store and absolutely loving it. Then I kind of fell out of love with it a little bit. For a few years really, the collection just went a little bit too tarty, a bit too skimpy. The fabrics just started looking a bit cheap. Nothing was really working for me enough to make me buy something. So I really wanted to take another look at their collection for this autumn to see what the quality's like, to see what the fabrics are like, essentially the whole aesthetic. Is it somewhere that me and you should still be shopping? So let's start at the very beginning with this beautiful blouse that I'm wearing. Now the first thing that pulled me in, of course, with this blouse was the colour. I absolutely love blush pink. I think it's a really, really flattering tone on pretty much everybody. Now it was only £29, which is really reasonable, but the negative to that is of course that it's made from polyester, which is a bit of a shame. However, it's for autumn winter, so I don't mind it so much. Plus, of course, I absolutely love the design of the blouse and I love the colour, so I'm gonna forget that little bit that's in the label. Now in terms of trends for this autumn winter, this sort of blouse is exactly the sort of thing you want to be looking for. Anything in a satin or a sheen type fabric with these big full sleeves we're seeing loads of, or any kind of big necktie or maybe some shoulder details. Remember that hard shoulder is really on trend for this season. All those types of slightly over the top kind of blouses, that's what we've been seeing on the catwalk that's now translating through to the high street. So first piece out the bag, a beautiful blouse. I know I can mix and match it in so many different ways, and that for me is a keeper. Now to say I'm impressed with the quality of this coat would be an understatement. I paid £69 and I would say it looks like it's worth at least double. The quality is beautiful. I'm so impressed with it. Now I've been looking at winter coats all the way through summer actually. So I was pleasantly surprised when I spotted this on Topshop's website, as it was very similar to the kind of coats I was looking at, but at a fraction of the price. Really lovely around the neckline here with a lovely big lapel that sort of stretches right over your chest. The seam of the shoulder is down here, which is obviously part of the design, makes it fall really nicely over your shoulder. I like that actually, I think it gives you a nice shape to your shoulders. It sits about mid-calf on me, so depending on how tall you are, I'm nearly 5'8", that's obviously gonna go a bit longer or a bit shorter, etc. You could have it taken up. When you've only paid £69 for a beautiful winter coat, you don't mind having that tailored a little bit. Fabric wise, it's made from a combination of polyester and viscose, but I would say to the touch, it feels beautiful. You can't feel any kind of polyester in there at all. Nice, simple brown tortoiseshell buttons, nothing too over the top or garish. I like that. I think it fits really nicely with the tone of the coat. And onto that tone, actually, it's a really lovely shade of camel. I think sometimes with camel coats, they can go a little bit too orangey, and it's quite an acquired taste. This, I would say, is more of a sand colour, a really lovely shade of light camel that I think is perfect, certainly for this season. And I'm really quite excited that I found a beautiful winter coat for just £69, so definitely happy days to that. Next up, I went for this lovely jumper in an oatmeal colour, paired with a beautiful satin skirt in blush. Now I'm really fond of the combination of these two together. I love that mixture of textures and I think it really works, and certainly for this autumn winter. I really like the shape of this jumper. I think it's something a little bit different. You've got a drop seam that comes down to here, then you've got quite a deep hem here of the rib section, which just enables you to lift that bell sleeve back over the top and gives it a bit more interest. Now obviously it's a round neck and you've got raglan sleeves, and it's quite a deep section of hem just sitting right below my hip bone, so really nice length again to be able to tuck in with a pair of jeans or leave it out with a skirt like I have. It's also got quite a wide shape, so you've got loads of room in here. It doesn't feel like it's clinging in any shape or form, and it's really soft to the touch, so it feels nice against my skin. So onto the skirt, which was in fact from the petite section, and my reason being was I was trying to find either a blush or a cream or a sand tone satin skirt. Now obviously I'm not petite, but I thought I would give it a go, and in actual fact it fits perfectly. So worryingly so for the petites, it doesn't seem to be any shorter in the length than it would be normally for me. Now we're seeing loads of satin for this autumn winter, lots of camisoles, lots of camisole dresses, slip dresses, satin skirts, obviously blouses. It's one of those fabrics that we're going to be seeing loads of for this season. I think styled in this way just dresses down the fabric, but I really wanted to show you how dressing it down can work just as nicely for the evening as well with a pair of heels, but it just makes a nice mixture between those two fabrics, and combined as an outfit together I think it looks really elegant, it looks really chic, and yet it's still really on trend for this season. And I think for a really reasonable priced outfit, this looks a lot more expensive than it actually was. Next up, I spotted this beautiful starry dress and absolutely fell in love with it. I think the design is absolutely gorgeous and well thought out actually. You've got a beautiful deep V-neck down the chest here, buttons that go all the way down to about mid-thigh. Then the split goes down to the hem and the frills all gather from the seam all the way around, making a really lovely shape. The sleeves are very wide and just fall beautifully over your shoulder, sitting just above my elbow, so a really nice length. And then of course you've got that gorgeous cutout section over the back, which really makes it special. I also think the print is really lovely. It's still very simple but very effective. It reminds me of a Rixo London dress, which I absolutely love, but obviously they are very much on the higher end of the market, whereas this dress is only £39, so it's obviously really reasonable. Now in terms of styling, I've worn it today with a pair of heels, but I know that I will equally be wearing this dress with a pair of white trainers and one of my handbags in that dress down fashion that I love so much. I think it would also look great styled with a long jumper that sort of sits just at the hip bone, and then you get the best of both worlds. You see that lovely star print coming out from the bottom, and dressing it down in that fashion just gives it a bit more of a modern twist, which I really love. So on a very different train of thought to the classic camel winter coat, I picked up this gorgeous blush one and I absolutely love it. It is so soft, it's one of those that you just want to keep stroking all the time. Again, it was only £65, so really reasonable for a winter coat. The fabric is beautiful, very soft, very fluffy, probably going to keep you super toasty throughout winter. But again, the joy for me with this one is of course the colour and that beautiful tone of blush. It's a little bit more pink tone than the blouse, but not so much so that it's too much and too over the top. It's just a lovely soft baby pink colour. So it's very much in that cocoon shape, a little bit oversized. That's down to the design, not it coming up too big. So go true to size if you like this coat as well. Again, really simple tortoiseshell buttons, which is very nice. I don't like buttons that are too in your face or over the top. I think just something simple and classic so you don't really notice them is my favorite type of buttons. But probably for me in terms of styling, I would just wear that loose and open. I like to be able to see your outfit underneath. I think sometimes it can feel a little bit too much fabric heavy when you do your coats up. Obviously, as it gets to full-on autumn winter, particularly in England, I'll be wrapping my coats up and adding scarves and hats and walking around like this because I hate the cold. But for now, while it's not too cold, definitely show your outfit underneath and just leave it open. Maybe rising the collar, I think that can look quite chic with these style of coats. You've got great deep pockets at the front there, which is very handy, and it is fully lined as well with the matching pink cotton. So depending on your preference, you could either go very smart with the classic camel coat or something a little bit different with this blush one. I love them both in all honesty, and I think they suit different occasions. So if it's within budget, I think both would work really nicely with lots of different looks for this autumn winter. So next up, I went for this lovely boxy shaped t-shirt in a great shade of grey. Now I've got quite a few of these in my wardrobe. I feel like I'm collecting up boxy t-shirts, but I can never resist when I find a good one because I know I will mix and match it to death in my wardrobe, and I end up using them and wearing them in so many different ways. I will style it in another way in these cutaways just so you can see the length when it's worn out. But for this look, I've just tucked it into these high-waisted trousers as I thought it was a really nice look together. Again, we've got the drop seam over the shoulder, which seems to be a bit of a running trend for what I choose in tops. I do like that. I think it's very flattering as a shape, and lovely turn-ups over the sleeve here. So it's still coming quite long, but I do like a turn-up. I think that just adds a little bit of detail to what is just essentially a t-shirt. So I've started with a pair of lyocell high-waisted trousers in this lovely tone of sand. Now I spotted these particularly because they reminded me of my Suzanne trousers, which you've probably seen in a couple of videos. I've worn those heaps. I absolutely love them. So I knew that the style suited me. I knew that I could get lots of wear out of them, but on a cheaper end of the scale, these were just £46. I thought these were a great alternative, and I really like the colour as well. And if you've never bought lyocell fabric before, it's very soft, feels lovely to the touch, but it's got a beautiful drape to it, which is why I like buying it. Now obviously it's very high-waisted. It feels like it really nips you in over the waist here and skims lovely over the hips. Sometimes with high-waisted trousers, I feel that they get this wrong and there's too much fabric over the hip section that just makes you look a bit bigger. These are tailored really nicely so it keeps the elongation all the way down to the hem. Obviously you've got that seam running all the way down the front and at the back, which just helps give you a bit more of a lengthening shape to your body. So quality-wise, again, I am very, very impressed. It has renewed my faith in Topshop, shall we say. So another outfit I know I will get lots of use out of. So that's it, my first ever Topshop haul is complete. I do hope you like all the items I picked as much as I do. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Possibly you're like me and you've given Topshop a swerve for the last couple of years, and hopefully I've shown you, and I've shown myself actually, that the quality is back where it used to be when I loved Topshop, and I'm really, really impressed. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the collection as well. Don't forget to find me over on Instagram at Fashion and Style Edit, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, that would be lovely too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back on Wednesday with part 2 of what I wore on my holiday.